Hello and welcome to my TAS of Professor Oak's challenge in Pokemon Emerald. First off, a TAS, or Tool Assisted Speedrun, is a playthrough of a game that is predetermined and set before it starts. This is not a human playing the game, but the computer. Secondly, a Professor Oak's challenge is the challenge where every Pokemon that is available to obtain before a badge is caught. This includes evolutions, legendaries, in-game trades, etc. Trading with other games is not allowed, so version exclusive and trade evolutions are not counted. Now, I'll be showing the entire playthrough of the game, with some parts sped up. If you want to watch the entire video, a link will be down in the description. On the left side of the screen, I'll be showing the most recently obtained Pokemon, the next Pokemon that will be obtained, and the one after that. I'll also be showing the total number of Pokemon obtained so far. What starter we choose does not matter, so Torchic is chosen because it's the Pokemon the selection starts at. The beginning of the game, up to when we get Pokeballs, is pretty standard. We just need to beat May as fast as possible. Here is where we start to divert from a normal playthrough. Firstly, we will catch a Zigzagoon with the ability pickup and 31 IVs in attack, which means its attack stat is perfect. Some people might know why pickup matters, but I'll explain that later on. We also switch our starter in the Zigzagoon and start battling every available trainer. Before we leave Route 102, we will catch 5 more Zigzagoon with pickup, along with all the necessary Pokemon to catch. As we move on to Route 104 in Petalburg Woods, we will continue battling every trainer and catching any needed Pokemon. The last area in this section is Route 116 and Restorf Tunnel. Importantly, we'll catch an Abra. Abra knows the move Teleport, which allows us to travel to the last Pokemon Center we entered. As we don't get Fly until much later in the game, this will be our primary mode of fast travel. For the grinding section we're about to do, we'll be using it to get back to the Pokemon Center quickly. Restorf Tunnel only contains Whismur, which yields the most XP in this part of the game. We'll spend about 3 hours here grinding up. Anyone who has done Professor Oak's challenge in Emerald before might think this is insanely fast. We can abuse this time by abusing the Emerald RNG and Zigzagoon's pickup ability. Pickup is an ability that gives a Monolith a 10% chance of finding an item after winning a battle. The items it can pick up are determined by the Mon's level. You can see in this chart from Bulbapedia, past level 21, rare candies, which increase the level of a Mon by 1, become available. At level 21, there's only a 4% chance, on top of the 10% pickup chance, for the item to be a rare candy. For a regular playthrough with a party of 6 pickup Mons, you would have a 50% chance of finding a rare candy after 29 battles. When our Zigzagoons reach level 21, you'll notice that they get at least 1 rare candy after every battle. How can that be? RNG manipulation. Pokemon Emerald, and computers in general, are unable to generate purely random numbers, so, to simulate randomness, developers implemented a pseudo-random number generator, or PRNG, into Pokemon Emerald. I'm not going to delve into the specifics about the PRNG. You can check out the playlist by Matthew Bolin below for more information, but all you need to know is that if we know the current RNG state, we can calculate all future and past RNG states. The current RNG state is stored in the game's memory, so we can read it using our emulators tool. Pickup generation happens about 50 frames after the last A press of a battle, usually either after the Pokemon gained XP or person paid you money text, but the exact number of frames depends on several factors and is not always consistent. So in order to find exactly when pickup happens after the A press, we run the game, calculating the current frame's RNG state that it should be. Eventually, it will not match, and we know the frame that happens is the frame pickup was done. When pickup is done, the game does the following steps. For each member in the party, in order, if they have the pickup ability and are not holding an item, RNG is called. If the RNG value is divisible by 10, this is where the 10% chance of pickup happening comes from, RNG is called again. The new RNG value is divided by 100, and the remainder is used to determine what item is picked up. The game has an array of items that it offsets with your Pokemon's level, and that's why the pickup chart has the striping pattern. So for each frame of delay before the A press, we can calculate the RNG states during the pickup calls and find the one that yields the most rare candies, or whatever item we want. Now, when we start getting more level 21 Linoone, you will notice that we only get 1 or 2 rare candies after each battle. Why is that? Well, the math isn't on our side for getting multiple rare candies after each battle. This equation gives us the probability for one frame that we get N rare candies with M pickup mons in the party. This part of the equation tells us how many ways we can choose N things from N possible choices, and this part tells us the probability of N rare candies appearing. For example, at the end of the current grinding session, we'll have 5 pickup mons, and if we are aiming for 2 rare candies, we get a probability of 0.016%. But remember, we can check multiple frames. Using the new equation, where P is the probability we just calculated, and D is the number of frames that you are willing to wait, if we plug in P and set D the 20 seconds worth of delay, 1200 frames, we get the probability of finding 2 rare candies within 20 seconds of waiting, which is about 17.5%. In order to have a 50% chance, we need to wait 72 seconds. So at some point, it's better just to take 1 rare candy and then do another battle than waiting for multiple. This brings us to my 3-step plan for how to level up and get through the game as fast as possible. Step 1 is to catch a Zigzagoon with the stats to one-shot the level 8 Wailmer as fast as possible in order to level up to level 21. We did this when we caught the level 31 attack IV Zigzagoon, and it's able to one-shot the Wailmer at level 11 with a crit. The second step is to farm rare candies with the first Linoone until enough have been collected to level another Zigzagoon to level 21, and this is repeated until all the Linoone are level 21. The third step is to farm rare candies and then play the rest of the game. All trainers should be avoided, and no wild encounters skipped. If you do have to fight a trainer, you should avoid double battles and make it 2 single battles if possible. During the rest of the game, you will notice that I won't be training up the Pokemon via battling. I think it should be faster just to get rare candies instead of also going to trainer battles, although I never proved it. As we get to the end of the first section, we have collected 265 rare candies and have collected 39 out of the 212 total by the end of the game. Roxanne is a cakewalk as we're extremely overleveled. We were able to skip the second gym until later, so our next gym will be Watson. The main challenge of this section is getting Crobat. It is the only friendship evolution we need in the entire challenge. They're using X items that we get from pickup and feeding it rare candies, where you're able to boost his friendship quickly. A little known fact about friendship is that the amount gained is increased by 1 if you are at the met location, so most of the friendship gained is while we're in the cave. The only other thing of note in this section is that Plusle took a long time to appear, so we've ran into some rare candies on Route 110 waiting for it to appear. We will end this section with 66 Pokemon. The only major thing of note we need to do in this section is that we need to hatch Wynaut from the egg given to us on Lava Ridge. We will also boost 3 of the linoones to level 41, giving them a 10% chance to find a rare candy with pickup. We will end this session with 90 Pokemon. We're only attaining 11 Pokemon this section because it's mostly backtracking as we are forced to do Gym 2, and Gym 5 is in the town we have already visited. We will abuse Teleport to avoid having to start back to Mauville, so we can't use the Pokemon Center after leaving Mauville. This is the largest section of the game because we're able to surf now. We'll be obtaining 55 Pokemon, including the infamous Feebas. Luckily for Feebas, we don't know how to guess at what tile Feebas is on, as tools have been created to calculate it for you. The one I use is in the description. The largest annoyance of the challenge happens in this section. We skip the fly gym until the very end. The 4-tree gym isn't needed until the Elite Four, so we won't have access to fly and we'll have to run, surf, teleport to every place. Side note, everyone knows the 7 out of 10 too much water meme about Hoenn, but when I play these games casually, I don't think there is too much water because of fly. But playing this game without fly really shows just how much water there is. We end this section with 156 Pokemon captured. From this section onwards, we will only need about 110 more rare candies, so we can stop farming them and so we can now avoid every trainer and wild encounter. In this section, we'll be getting Rayquaza, which we'll use to play for the rest of the game. We will also be using it as our HM slave, as it learns Fly, Surf, Waterfall, and Dive. We end this section with 167 Pokemon. We can finally get Fly. We only need to tame 4 Pokemon, Mawile and Victory Road in the Bagon line in Meteor Falls, which is on the other side of the map. This will be our last time using Teleport, so we can get from Meteor Falls to Fortree City instantly. We end this section with 171 Pokemon. There are no more Pokemon to catch until the post-game, so we can take on the Elite Four now. Now that we're in the post game, we get the National Dex. A ton of Johto Pokemon become available to catch in the Safari Zone along with the legendaries. Firstly, we go to the Weather Institute and the man on the top floor tells us where either Groudon or Kyogre are. After catching them, we go for the roaming Latias. Normally, you would bike between 2 routes with a repel to get it to appear, but we can just wait to enter a route to force it to be on our current route. We can then go to the Safari Zone and catch all the new Pokemon there. Finally, we can go to the Battle Frontier and Moss Deep to get the final Pokemon and Evolution Stones. We end the challenge with 212 Pokemon caught and a final playtime of 18 hours and 47 minutes. There were some major mistakes I made throughout the run, the most glaring being that I arrived at Shoal Cave just late and ended up having to wait 5 hours and 41 minutes. If you take that time out, the final playtime decreases to 10 hours and 54 minutes. Other mistakes are listed on screen now. There are also some other things that should be figured out before the next crazy person enough to try this takes it on. Does having teleport speed up the grinding more than having 6 Linoone? Should Linoone be immediately grinded to level 41 instead of 21? What is the best maximum weight for multiple rare candies? Should the Pokemon to be evolved be grinded while grinding rare candies? This task took me about a month to complete, and abusing RNG pickup is something I always wanted to do in the task, and it feels great to have finally figured out how it works. Thanks for watching.